Hello, David.
Hello. Welcome, evening.
Good evening, partner. Thank you for joining me for the third episode of The Midnight Oil. It's been a while, been a couple of weeks.
Yep. That's okay. We've accumulated some interesting topics.
That's right, yeah. And I guess we're still trying to get a feel for what the podcast is, but I think overall, over several episodes, we'll find our voice, through the kind of stories we end up talking about.
Yeah.
And
it will evolve naturally, I think.
Yeah. It's coming along pretty well so far, I think.
Yep.
So we're drinking something special today.
Today we are drinking Lone Star Texas Light.
That's right.
Provided by our good friend Brad, who's now a dad.
Brad the dad.
Congratulations, Brad.
Congratulations. So these are from Texas, of course, the Lone Star State.
And we actually do have two beers, so if we get to the second one, we also have a Pacifico Clara Mexican beer, maybe.
So this one I have not heard of, and I'm curious.
It says a cerveza on it. It means beer, doesn't it?
Possibly.
Spain go?
I failed Spain go. So.
Spain lingo? Spain go? You failed?
I
flunked Spain go?
Freshman year of high school was an interesting year for me.
Spain was a no-go?
I basically decided I don't care about anything. I didn't try. So
one of those kids.
Yeah.
Wearing a black mascara and giving a finger to your parents.
Not that far, but mostly wearing black. My friends were questionable.
Driving around in a hearse.
Yeah, my friend. Yes.
That was your friend.
That was several years later, though. That was after I cleaned myself up.
That was when you regained the appreciation for something. You believed in one thing instead of no things.
Right. Yeah.
You emerged from a puberty-induced crisis.
Mm-hmm. I guess. I'll tell you what it was, though. I was put on antidepressants for a little under a year, and that's what did it. That's what made me completely stop caring about the world.
They're just drugs, aren't they not?
Yeah, it just made me feel like a zombie. So
yeah.
I'd go to school and I just want to sleep.
I feel like the word antidepressant is not appropriate. That's adepressant, isn't it?
Yeah. I would more.
If it's zombifying you, maybe.
I would more describe it as a sensation depressant. It just makes you dull to the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say what pulled me out of it was the discovery of beer or something, not going on antidepressants. Yeah.
No, I was, freshman year, so I would have been 13 or something. I didn't start drinking until
14, 15?
18 or 19. It wasn't until I graduated high school, really. Which is strange, I know. It is what it is.
Speaking of drinking, Kampai. Kampai guy.
We were the Kampai guys in a past life. Yes.
We were. That life has since perished. Well, we are drinking Lone Star. We may get to Pacifico, a Mexican cerveza. I guess we should get into the first topic.
Yeah. So I have a story I'd like to talk about.
Okay.
And again, I don't know exactly what you're going to bring up, but I have a feeling mine is a bit heavier than yours. So I thought we could save mine for the end.
That's going to be the what the listeners get through all the other crap to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the payoff. That's the present.
It's that's one way to put it. Payoff, I guess.
The pure depression inducing darkness.
It's the auditory money shot.
The black spunk. Well, I have a couple of things that are fairly light. Mm-hmm. The first one I came across in, I guess, for a podcast about dark things. You might say the kind of unlikeliest of places. It was a job posting on a freelance work website.
Okay.
I may or may not be disgruntled at my job right now, so
Okay.
going through some online work. As we live in Japan, the kind of work we can do is kind of limited. So, online work from home is an option for English speakers. Well, it seems like if you're speaking another language, there's more work available. There are like too many English speakers doing translation or that kind of thing.
Freelance I've
places.
dipped my toes into the freelance sites as well, and it seems like so saturated.
Yeah. And it's hard to tell which ones are real and which ones are not. And they come from all sorts of countries and all sorts of places. Well, anyway, I was looking at freelance writing work, as I've done some like blogging, and I feel like I could do that and offer something worthwhile. And I came across one ad. Do you want to bring it up, I guess?
Is it the photo?
It is a image, just a JPEG. Because I actually had to... I read this, did a double take, forgot about it, and like 3 weeks later I was like, I think this would work on the podcast. It took me ages to find it, so I hope everyone appreciates my good work. I guess you can read the title if you want. So the job posting is right.
Sure. Okay. So this is on Upwork.
This is on Upwork. Yeah. Posted by someone called... Do they have the name? Oh, they don't. They're just someone in Morristown, USA. Posted at 8:49 a.m.
Okay. So the title.
A few weeks ago.
Write and expose them online. My court abuse horror story, written professionally in exchange for a 5-star review. Okay, and also this title, it's lacking like spaces between words.
Write and expose, written professionally in exchange for 5-star review, have no spaces between them. So
this is categorized as a ghostwriting gig.
Yeah, ghostwriting, yeah. Worldwide, anyone from any country can apply. And this they're offering
$5.
$5, fixed price. But they have previously spent $400 on other projects.
Oh yeah, they've hired 13 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess you want to get into the actual main title, the description.
Sure. Would you like me to read it?
Yeah. Interesting. The description does have correct spacing. I'm not sure about grammar or vocab choice. So I'm sure we'll find out. Okay.
Hello. I would like for someone to type my story in written professionally, because I'm not skilled in writing, and post it everywhere in all caps, everywhere possible in United States, websites, blogs, news, to expose the abuse and my child was illegally stolen. In exchange for 5-star reviews on your page. We can make different jobs, and I post 5-star reviews on them. Thanks. My baby was illegally stolen, and the dad is a wealthy, dirty doctor. Okay, what did I just read?
So when I was looking for potential jobs, I read that. I thought, that's a bit weird. And then went to the next one. And a few weeks later, I was like, Midnight Oil, the dad is a wealthy, dirty doctor. My baby illegally stolen. I was like, I think I need to ask Alex about this. Also, what did I just read?
Yeah, this one's a head scratcher.
So, different jobs. Make different jobs. Like fake jobs.
This is so out there.
Yeah. So this is something for the police, not the ghostwriting.
Like
posting.
Would you like my take on it?
I very much so. That's why I brought it up.
Okay, this sounds like the ramblings of a schizophrenic person.
Yeah.
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 Yeesh.
But 4 active hires, 13 people already hired, $400 spent. So I'm curious, what were the other projects?
Right. Were they all similar to this one?
I haven't seen them. So they don't exist. They're completed work. You can't see them.
Oh, okay.
Upwork does have a flag as inappropriate button. But, when we read this, no one had flagged it. I don't know. Do you think this is legit? Was their baby illegally stolen?
Of course, there's a possibility for like anything to be legit. If I were to apply like Occam's razor to this, of course I would lean towards mental illness for sure. Yeah, there's something unsettling about reading posts by people having like delusions, online.
Yeah.
In previous eras, people with schizophrenia or like going through like paranoid delusions, they would, scream at the sky, or, they would talk with their friends or family, and it would end there. But these days, with the World Wide Web, anyone can see it, for better or for worse.
There's more access to these people's thoughts.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. I've come across very similar things on YouTube, for example. Like at this point, it was over 10 years ago, I found just by chance this YouTube account for some lady in her 30s living in Russia who was obviously going through paranoid delusions, but she had like thousands and thousands of videos posted onto YouTube, all of them like uploaded within minutes of each other, and they're all just like her rambling, like walking around the city, like talking to herself on the bus, filming like random things in her house, like sometimes screaming, sometimes like sounds like she's having like a panic attack. It's really disturbing.
Pretty creepy.
And she'd be uploading these
all the time, constantly,
all the time. Yeah, like it's almost like she didn't sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, so
could be she made them over a long period of time, just uploaded all at the same time.
No, it was
going live all the time.
Stream of conscious. It wasn't live streaming.
Okay, make a video, upload it. Make a video, upload it.
Yeah, I think this was before live streaming took off.
Sounds like a lot of work to do that as well, though.
Well, she probably did it on her phone.
Yeah,
like the YouTube app was out then, so she probably filmed something and just uploaded it.
I think like making the video and then uploading it also kind of becomes a addiction or an obsession. So they need to keep posting, fast.
In this case, I don't think it was an addiction to likes, because all of them had like 0 or 1 views.
Addiction to attention. Sharing.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
But again, this account had no viewers.
No views.
Right. Like most of the videos on there had like 0 or maybe 1.
Oh, she didn't even care who was viewing.
Right.
Just get it out.
Yeah. So this kind of reminds me of of that time I found that YouTube channel.
I think what was so striking about this one for me was how the description is structured. It's kind of weird how it's structured. He goes, "Thanks, my baby was illegally stolen, and the dad is a wealthy, dirty doctor." It's like a stream of consciousness. It's not in the correct order.
Right. It seems so like just a stream of conscious.
Like if you make a job posting, you would structure it correctly, right?
Yeah, this seems like someone...
Sounds like they just typed it and then they put it out.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I think someone out there is really suffering, but not necessarily from a stolen baby.
So you think this definitely is not a true story? It's fake.
I would put money on it being some kind of,
just a mentally challenged
exactly
person. Yeah. Right.
I wouldn't say mentally challenged, but someone going through an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting find. That would, if I came across that, it would kind of stick with me though.
Yeah. Okay.
Jeez. Well, I guess you didn't apply for it.
I did, yeah.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I'm starting to regret that now because we might have even more material for the podcast.
Oh my God, we could have gone undercover.
I was like, $5 is a bit much. You can just give me 2 if you want.
Jeez.
Anyway, so the next one I saw was on the Mainichi News, which is a pretty big newspaper in Japan, and they have an English site. Kind of less stories, of course, than the Japanese site, but occasionally you come across kind of like cute cultural things, like some like tiny like dumb festival in some area of Japan or something like that. This one stuck out to me, so I think this might be the original headline. It's very similar. The actual original article has since been removed, but someone else put it up on a website called Japan Topics or something like that, jref.com. And the kind of gist of it was Shimbashi snack owner arrested for overcharging inebriated customers.
No, I didn't read the story, but I did also see this headline.
Yeah. I read the whole thing, and the amount of money that was taken first attracted me to it. But also, like, you don't really like have crime like this exposed so much in the media. It's kind of like, how do you say, like hidden, or
right? It's not
put out there so much.
Yeah,
in the public eye.
It's not as like sensationalized as it is in America.
Yeah, like in Japan, we kind of tried to like hide things like this a little bit in the media.
Of course, on the nightly news, you'll see, you know,
yeah,
like criminal stories and everything, but
there's not like a constant focus on it, or
right.
There's more of a like, let's maintain the good image of the Japanese bar industry or restaurant industry. Let's not expose things like this. I guess we can go into it. So basically, a man doesn't remember a night out at all after like the first place, and he woke up the next day and he was billed like hundreds of thousands of yen, like huge amounts of money, by multiple bars, I think, multiple charges that he has no memory of going to. So the suggestion is maybe he was drugged, that they put something in one of the drinks, maybe. Should we get into the amount that he was charged?
Sure, where is it? Here?
So this says, about a week later, off this night out, he was stunned by his online credit card statement. Charges included a total of 669,800 yen, which is around $4,500, from 3 separate bars on January the 28th. At the first bar, he was initially charged only 11,000 yen, which, like, if you saw that, you wouldn't be that. Like,
no, to be fair, that amount of money is, you know,
fairly normal, I think.
Yeah.
Very standard. Yeah, we've paid that a couple of times. Yeah. Followed by another charge at the same bar of 188,000 yen. So, like 20 times almost that amount. Which would suggest maybe like buying a bottle of champagne or something, 2 bottles of champagne or something. The second bar charged 275,000 yen, so about $2,000, and the third bar charged almost 200,000 yen. He has no memory of visiting the second or third bars. He reported this to the credit card company, but was told bluntly that because the charges had been made using his PIN code, they were his responsibility.
Let me just cut in right there.
Okay.
For my understanding, credit card companies in Japan are like way more strict on what you can get refunded compared to American credit card companies.
Yeah, this article suggested that to me.
Yeah,
so.
like if you have an issue with like an unauthorized payment in Japan, it's a huge hassle to get your money back from the credit card companies. Whereas in America, it's a pretty easy process. You just call them, explain it, and they'll just refund you.
I guess in this case, it's kind of your word against theirs, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, how can you prove that you didn't go there if you put your PIN number in there?
Right. Yeah.
You got to prove that they drugged you or they like forced you to make these payments. What would say like the first 2 payments are suspicious, right? Like you wouldn't spend 11,000 yen and then spend 188,000
unless you're going to like some exclusive club or something.
Unless they like fucked up the first charge or something. They
or
typed
that.
in the wrong number or something.
Yeah.
And you might be drunk, so you just go, oh, okay, fine, yeah. But if he's being sincere, that it would be pretty wild that he went to 2 other bars. Like we've been like pretty inebriated on occasions, but I don't remember this ever happening.
Yeah, this kind of thing has never happened to me.
Yeah.
So, how did the police get involved?
Well, he contacted a lawyer, and he requested payment details from the 3 bars. A month and a half later, he received responses. They refused to return any amount, and I kind of like this direct quote from the bar. We give refunds on the basis that people can't remember. If we give refunds on the basis that people can't remember, it won't be good for our business.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
As fucked up as that sounds, I mean, it makes sense, assuming nothing like illegal is happening.
Yeah. I feel like this kind of thing doesn't really happen in the UK because, like, if we get anywhere near this level drunk, we're like thrown out. Like, we're never allowed to get to this level drunk. Like,
right.
I was in a pub in England and my friend fell asleep for like 2 seconds. He did like the doze off thing, and when he did that, he like knocked the glass across the table, and they literally saw that, ran up and literally threw us out like immediately because he fell asleep like 1 second.
Wow.
They're very, very strict on that. So, and you're too drunk, you're not coming in.
Yeah.
Even at the entrance to a club or something, like you can be a bit tipsy. You're too drunk, you're not coming in. You're going to cause trouble.
Yeah. Typically speaking, bars in Japan are extremely lenient.
They are, yeah.
You can, in a lot of small bars, just go in the corner and take a nap.
Yeah.
And they don't kick you out. You can bring in your own like snacks or like to take out meals. You can get like delivery ordered to the bar and just eat it on the counter. And at small bars, they don't care.
I had some experience working in a small bar in Matsuyama, and people would like fall asleep, and I would say to the boss, like, we should throw them out, right? They're taking up a seat. They shouldn't be asleep in the bar. And they're like, no, they have to stay. So
yeah,
they are completely different treatment of customers to the UK, I guess the US as well. Yeah.
When I was younger in America, I was at a bar with a friend, and he had no ill intentions at all, but we were at the counter, and he picked up a bottle of whiskey or something that was like sitting there just to read it, and the bartender saw him pick it up and he got kicked out.
Oh, you mentioned that to me before.
Yeah. Whereas in Japan,
you can go behind the bar and like start looking in bottles and do anything.
They don't care. They'll put like all their all their alcohol on the counter like from the start, and you can just pick it up and look at it and choose what you want to drink, and it's
totally different.
It's like a non-issue.
Just I guess to get to the end of this story, so I guess how the police got involved was there were notable issues with the receipts. The second establishment listed a party of 1 in the space, while the itemization listed 2 wines for 40,000 yen and 4 of another indecipherable item.
Okay.
For 200,000 yen. The third bar's receipt lists a party of 1 man and 2 women. I mean, like some of these bars have a hostess or something like that.
Yeah.
That's possible. And they charged him 18,000 yen for 3 sets, whatever that means, and 160,000 for 4 champagnes. So
again, the headline was the bar owner was arrested.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
I can't be exactly sure, but I think one of the owners was not Japanese as well, one of these bars.
Okay, yeah. So, I guess I'll add in my 2 cents now.
Sure.
This outcome is extremely rare, considering how often this kind of situation happens in, especially like Tokyo, especially Shinjuku, more especially like
Golden Guy or something like that.
Kabukicho.
Kabukicho, yeah.
That area.
Yeah.
Are you aware of how bad it is over there?
I can imagine, to be honest with you.
It's so bad that when you look at the U.S. Embassy in Japan, like their website for like things to be concerned about,
They have a warning or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
they'll point like that out.
Yeah.
And,
Well, it's a known Yakuza area. Right.
yeah, so basically how it works is for people, like for unsuspecting people going out to drink in that area, it's a very bar dense area.
Right. Yeah.
They'll have touts walking around outside. They're often, I believe, Nigerian, often from Africa. And they'll say something like, hey, I know a good bar I can take you to. They have good drinks. It's cheap. So if you're suckered into going with them, they will take you to like a very overcharged bar. And in a lot of cases, they actually put something in your drink.
Spike the drink.
Yeah. To make you like black out and
Lucid
not
or
remember.
something. Yeah.
You'll wake up with like the worst hangover you've ever had in your life. And
It's like on a street corner or something.
in this situation will have happened. They'll
Huge charges to your card or something.
when you're blacked out, they'll take you to an ATM and have you physically withdraw the money yourself. So that way, like I guess in the courts or if the police get involved, it's on you because you physically did it.
Yeah.
And in most cases, for people that fall victim to this, if they go to the police will say, oh, we can't do anything because probably the same issue with the PIN number. Also, like we can't prove that you were drugged.
Right.
Like, how do we know
right.
you weren't just...
Yeah. It's your word against theirs, like
Right.
I said before. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually this headline is a really rare case.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've never experienced anything like this?
Like one time we got taken by like a scout kind of person to a bar in Osaka, but we weren't charged like crazy amount like that. So yeah.
Yeah, like not all of the scouts are.
I was not inebriated so that much.
Yeah.
And the scout was Japanese as well, so not Nigerian or something like you mentioned.
Yeah. Also, from what I hear, a lot of these shady bars that have these practices, they're often owned by immigrants.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a thing. It's like when people say Japan is very safe in most cases.
That's a generalization. It's kind of true, I think.
Yeah.
But
in the cases that it's not safe,
yeah,
it's this kind of thing.
You're right. Yeah. You're probably not going to like encounter violence or anything like that. You're just going to be like conned out a lot of money, basically. Scammed.
Yeah. And it's most likely going to happen in like a seedy part of town.
Yeah. And they kind of do it in a way that they know they can get away with. They do it on a regular basis. So, yeah. I guess our old YouTube Kampa guys was about showing the good side of Japan, right? So be wary, this podcast is the dark stuff, but that can be as useful as the good stuff, right? So you know not what to do.
Oh, right, yeah. If you're coming to Japan and you want to go out drinking, I recommend, one, if you are not familiar with the area, don't go out alone. Go with a friend.
Go to the crowded places.
Yeah.
Go to the busy places where a lot of people.
Yeah. Two, go to the really busy places, or check the Google Maps review.
Yeah.
If they have like a lot of stars and it looks really busy, well, you're probably okay. Third, ignore all of the scouts trying to pull you into
If
bars.
someone says, I'll take you somewhere good, don't go with them, because you can find somewhere good easily.
Yeah.
Just ask a person on the street where's good, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
So,
But if you do that, make sure they're
not a scout.
Yeah.
If they're kind of stumbling around holding a briefcase, they're probably just a salaryman and they'll give you a good place. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, like, do what most people do in most countries. Go where the crowds are, go with the locals, go like a lively place.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a beginner in Japan, I would avoid like places with like signs that says like 2 hours, 5,000 yen or something, like that kind of thing.
The courses.
Because that can be quite tricky to negotiate. And it can be a scam as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like could be just to enter, and they'll try to get you to stay longer and buy drinks for this girl and buy drinks for that person. Some even happens in a small way sometime. Like I went with a girl to this bar that she said was like her friend's bar in Matsuyama, and I go and sit down there. Like she was like, it's 10,000 yen each for all the stuff for their drinks. I was like, yeah, no. I'll pay for me and you. And they were like, shut up, and that was it. So, but once I said a few words in Japanese, they're like, okay, he's not like a foreign tourist or something. So they moved away from
your friend took you to that place?
A friend, yeah. No. I'm doing air.
Okay.
What do you call them? Scare quotes or something. But anyway, just be aware of getting pulled into these cons or scams.
Yeah, it's most likely going to happen in like really big cities.
Yeah.
If you're in the countryside,
it's less likely, I think, yeah.
Very
happens,
low
chance.
A much lower chance.
Particularly Kabukicho or that kind of place. You want to be careful, I would just say don't even go out there, to be honest. Way more like nice areas in Tokyo.
Oh, yeah.
So.
If you're looking for places in Tokyo to avoid, you can avoid Kabukicho.
Yeah.
And also
Roppongi Hills, yeah. The club place,
Yeah. Lots of clubs. If you're into clubs, I guess it's okay, but I've also heard there's lots of scams in that area.
Yeah. Those two places, yeah.
Hell,
okay, well,
just go drinking like around a station and you'll be fine.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, like somewhere like that, yeah. Kinshicho, I went out in, that's a great place. Koenji, they're a little bit like, they're not like Shinjuku or Shibuya, like the downtown places, but in Tokyo, everywhere's downtown. You can go in 10 minutes on the train. So, yeah, and you'll have a great time. So.
Yeah.
And you'll probably avoid this kind of crap that goes on. So, anyway, shall we move on?
Sure.
Anything else to say on this? Or
I think we covered everything. Just, if you go out drinking, be careful.
All right. So, Alex, we going much darker now?
Yes. So there was an incident here in Japan on July 2nd. A very curious incident that occurred near Sapporo in Hokkaido.
I remember now. What are you talking about? Yeah.
So I have the news articles here, and there are some updates. So I'll go through several of them. Okay. So again, this was posted on July 4th, but it occurred on July 2nd. Okay. The title is "Headless Body Found at Sapporo Love Hotel."
This is my kind of title, I think. Yeah.
Right.
This is my kind of jam. Yeah.
So when I saw this pop up on my newsfeed, I was like, "What?" Okay. So the headless body of a man has been found at a hotel in Sapporo, with police continuing to search Tuesday for a person who was seen entering the victim's room with him. The victim was found naked. Police believe both the head and the clothes were taken away by the subject of the manhunt in a bid to prevent identifying the body, according to sources. The victim, whose body was found Sunday, was identified by investigators on Tuesday as Hitoshi Ura, a 62-year-old resident of the city of Eniwa, situated south of Sapporo. And it goes on to say that security cameras show that 2 people entered the Love Hotel around 11 p.m. and later on in the evening at 2 a.m. only one person left.
Right.
Carrying a suitcase and a backpack. Okay. So an autopsy of the victim revealed that the cause of death was, how do you say this?
Hemorrhagic
shock? Like a shock to the head?
Yeah.
And that his head was severed after death.
Good to know. It's better to sever it. Not while you're alive, I guess. Well,
Right.
not for him. Yeah.
The police suspect that the victim was killed in the bathroom where his body was found by an employee on Sunday afternoon. So, this must have happened sometime between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. And the murderer, I guess, committed the act sometime within that time period,
Yeah.
and then left by 2 a.m. But the body was not found until the following afternoon by a staff member. Imagine being that person.
So, let me get straight. His body was discovered in the bathroom.
Yes.
They left the scene with a suitcase.
Yes.
Did they take any of the body parts? Or?
Yes. So, at the time of this article being written, they did not know where the head was.
Okay, so the person took the head.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So the person who worked at that Love Hotel just went in that room and there was just a headless corpse in the bathtub.
Yes.
Right.
A naked, headless corpse.
62-year-old man.
Yeah. And so, if you can imagine the kind of person working at a Love Hotel, it's probably some, 60 or 70-year-old, sweet old lady.
And the suspect, it says this is the suspect, right? The person was small in stature and wore a wide-brimmed hat and women's clothing when entering the room, but was wearing black attire when leaving.
Yes.
So they changed their clothes for when they left.
Yes. You can only assume
to avoid being identified.
that,
So,
or possibly their clothes got
wide-brimmed hat.
stained.
Like a mafia hat. And women's clothing.
So,
Is this who's the killer from Science and Lambs? The transsexual killer.
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill's tall though, isn't he? So,
Oh, right. Yeah, it couldn't be him.
Japanese Buffalo Bill. Yeah.
So the final passage in this article. A man in the neighborhood expressed shock Sunday, saying, "I have lived in this area for about 15 years, but I have never heard of an incident like this."
He's lived in the Love Hotel neighborhood.
In this area, so...
Above that it says downtown Suzukino, where many Love Hotels are located.
Yes, so this must have been a seedy part of town.
But this is the first seedy thing.
According...
It's not a seedy thing, it's a pretty crazy fucking thing.
It's insane.
But I'm sure like other dodgy incidents have happened in that area. You would assume so. Yeah.
So this occurred on July 4th. Sorry, on July 2nd.
Independence Day.
Happy July 4th.
Independent from my head is independent from my body, I guess.
It's
too soon.
Yeah, my head is emancipating my body. So, yeah, this was from early July, and
but there have been updates.
Yeah.
Okay.
July 25th, there was an update.
3-week investigation, I guess.
Yes. Yep. Okay. So again, this was a couple of weeks later. The severed head of a man found dead in a Sapporo love hotel was discovered Tuesday at the home of a doctor and his daughter.
Okay.
Who were arrested Monday on suspicion of decapitating a body, police investigators said. The woman's 60-year-old mother was also arrested Tuesday.
Okay.
So an entire family.
In on this, potentially?
Yeah.
What the hell did this 62-year-old dude do to these people?
The police suspect that the 29-year-old daughter, Runa Tamura, carried out the murder and subsequent beheading of the 62-year-old office worker Hiroshi Ura by herself at the short stay hotel earlier this month. Her 59-year-old father, Osamu Tamura, is suspected of helping Runa Tamura carry the severed head out of the hotel. Although he did not enter the hotel, he is thought to have dropped off and picked up his daughter at the hotel before and after the alleged crime.
Okay.
So, again, the main suspect is this 29-year-old, lady, and her parents are accomplices. Her father being a well-known psychiatrist.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Is that the Love Hotel above? Is that a picture of it?
Yes. So this was taken on July 3rd.
Doesn't look, I love it. It looks like a really weird mansion.
It does,
apartment complex.
I think the colors kind of give it away. It's got this bright, gaudy colors.
Yeah. Okay. The police believe Runa and Ura were acquainted. Okay. So they knew each other.
Yeah, it seems that the victim and the girl knew each other.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh yes, so the father, he is a psychiatrist at a hospital in Sapporo. And also from what I read earlier, he is like the head of his department.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And he's really well known for giving lots of support to his patients, helping them with issues they're having. And I also heard that he's talked to people about his unconditional love for his daughter.
Okay.
So
I mean, it certainly sounds like he has pretty strong love if he's willing to do that.
Yeah, so this could go one of two ways, I guess. One, all three were in on it, and it's malicious intent from all three of them. Or, it was just the daughter, but then there is just so much love from the parents that they
had to go along with it and help her out with it or something.
And either way is fucked up.
Right.
What do you make of this story?
I've seen that kind of scene in a few horror movies before, where someone in the family does something really messed up and they go home, and the initial reaction is pure shock, and then the parents are okay, well, you're not going to jail, so how are we gonna cover this up or get rid of this? And as a psychologist, father, I'll deal with the psychology later or something. But maybe it's something that they already knew was going on between this girl and this guy. Maybe he'd abused her or something, and that's revenge or something.
That's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming
the age difference, though, right? 62 to 29.
Right.
Would they be co-workers or something? And he abused her or something? Or?
This is all speculation on my part, but if I were to paint a picture, I would say this man was sexually harassing the girl, and maybe it got to the point where she just snapped.
Yeah.
And lured him to this hotel.
Yeah.
Did what she did.
Which would be easy to lure him if he's sexually coming onto her or
right,
something.
Yeah. And then maybe she just, asked her parents for help, and her parents, maybe being like, loving people, didn't know what else to do except for help her. I mean, the head was found at the family's house. On like several weeks later, so it was being kept and hidden at the house.
That could be like a way of preventing the police from identifying the body,
right? Yeah,
dental records or something.
Yeah,
might have been
taking the clothes.
Avid CSI fan or something.
Yeah. But what I'm insinuating is the head being at the house. Like obviously, like the parents were doing all they could to, keep their daughter out of trouble.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of begs the question, like, is or should unconditional love be unconditional? Like, is there like a limit to like ride or die?
Depends which trumps which. Do your morals or hatred of murder trump your love for your child? Like, what takes precedent? Are you willing to risk your own career or not going to jail for your daughter, your child?
Right. Yeah.
Did they already know that this dude was terrorizing her or something?
I mean, again, we're just spitballing on that one. We have no idea. But if he is like some kind of like predator, and this was all like vigilante justice, then I guess it could be argued, like, but at the same time, it's against the law. Like, it's hard to condone.
Yeah, and taking the head home thing, it's a bit difficult for people to get over, right? Isn't it? Like, sometimes vigilante justice will be an explosion of anger or rage. It won't be something that's clearly planned like this. She changed clothes.
Yeah.
She obviously planned the location.
Yeah.
Taking the head
from
home.
what we know, it seems very premeditated.
Thought out, right?
Yeah.
So,
like, she really ruminated on this.
Whereas in Japan, like, a lot of cases of like built up sexual like harassment, they kind of explode in an instant. Yeah. Of course, it is the case that like some companies kind of maybe turn a blind eye to harassment. So she might have gone to a company and they're not doing anything about it. She doesn't want to lose her job. And it just built up and built up and built up. But that wouldn't suggest like planning it this much necessarily. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a creepy case though. Yeah.
It is. It seems like fiction,
Yeah.
Though.
Could be a movie, right?
Yeah.
Could be like a Sion Sono movie.
And again, a moment ago we were just talking about how safe Japan tends to be, but when something does happen, it tends to be pretty wild.
On the darker side, yeah.
Yeah. Like, when it does happen, it really sticks out.
Yeah. Reality can be stranger than fiction sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. Life imitates art, I guess.
Yeah.
What if the head was in a box in the house and the police said, "What's in the box? What's in the box?"
I keep trying to put my shoes in the
shoecase.
I keep trying to put myself in the shoes of one, the lady working at the hotel that found the body in the bathtub, and then two, being the police officer searching the house and finding the head. Like, in both of those cases, like, Japanese police don't see a lot of action, I don't think. So
they kind of don't really know what to do sometimes when this situation happens.
Right,
They're
yeah.
completely untrained for it.
like
That case a couple of years ago I brought up to you, like there was an abandoned hotel in Japan, and like a homeless person was sleeping there. He just died in the bed,
oh yeah.
and they took away the body, but they didn't like remove the mattress or the guy's belongings or anything. So a bunch of YouTubers went there and like filmed like his, like, how would you say, like rotten like shape, like visible in the mattress.
Yeah. I remember you showed me the video on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was watching with my wife next to me, and like I was like, it messed me up seeing that. But then my wife was like,
yeah. In like the UK, that would be like a crime scene. I think that would be like taped off, and all of that stuff would be taken away. But they just literally just like took the body out, and a day later, from what I understand, it was just left like it was. Yeah. And maybe that's because they just have no action in that area, right? So, yeah.
Well, anyway, like considering the nature of this incident, I would be willing to like guarantee that this girl or this family are gonna have supporters. You know, people that like
Probably,
really
yeah.
like empathize with them.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it turns out that this dude was an abuser.
Yeah.
You know, though that said, I mean, obviously what they did is illegal and they should go to jail.
Of course,
but
yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting to look at these like grayish cases.
Well, I think we will probably check back on this story.
I'm sure there will be updates. Yes.
Police are trying to determine a motive, it says. So once a motive is discovered, hopefully it's reported, and we can come back and wrap this one up, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
Until then, if any of our listeners would like to, what do you say, speculate on the nature of this story, or what really happened here, always leave us a comment on YouTube or our social media.
Yeah, we'd love your input.
We would, on Headless Man in Love Hotel, Sapporo.
Yeah.
The wild world out there. It's the Wild West. The Wild East.
I guess we didn't really go into like what a love hotel is, did we?
Do we need to?
We don't have them in the States, so
We don't have them in England as well.
Yeah.
I guess we've just been here a long time, so we know what it is. Yeah.
yeah. Essentially, love hotels are like short stay hotels where couples can go to have like intimate time with each other for various reasons. Obviously for like cheating, but also because maybe at home they have no privacy, you know.
Yeah, it's because like a lot of young people in Japan live with their parents into their 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s.
Yeah.
So they don't want to have sexual relations in their parents' house.
Especially if their parents are literally one room over.
Which they probably are.
And the wall is like paper thin.
Might even be in the same room. So.
Right.
So yeah, it's like somewhere where you can rent a room like on an hourly basis, and they have like sometimes like sex stuff in the room, right? Or they have like adult materials.
Yeah.
Or it can just be like a really simple one. But it's fairly big business. In every town there is an area or two that have like a cluster of love hotels.
Also, they're designed to be as anonymous as possible.
Yeah, there's like no staff, right, when you enter, like.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no staff.
Like you pay like in like a machine or something.
Yeah, it's like all automated. Even like in the parking lot, it's situated so where like you can't see the license plate numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously that aids itself to this kind of thing sometimes happening.
Whether it's a healthy thing, I guess that could be a whole podcast.
Yeah.
Of psychoanalysis, or but that's kind of a complicated thing into how Japanese society works. But certainly, if you want to commit a crime like this is the place where you would do it. I think. Yeah, she certainly wasn't dumb taking him here.
Right.
I'm surprised they even had him on camera. To be honest, of course they have cameras, but do all love hotels have cameras?
I would imagine
they have.
Maybe
just in the car park or the lobby or something.
They would have to have cameras.
Maybe by
security.
law they need to have them.
Security.
Yeah.
Security reasons.
Yeah.
Specifically for incidents like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, David.
Right. Yeah. It certainly did go dark towards the end. Yeah. I guess some titles for this episode: the dark side of Japanese entertainment.
Yeah, and here I was thinking you'd be the one bringing the darker stories.
I certainly can facilitate that next time if you like. So. All right.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, as always.
Indeed.
And to all of you listening, thank you very much for your support. And we will be back soon with another episode.
Episode 4. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Until next time.
Until next time.
Take it easy.